everybody, it's John here. It's March the 5th. It's a sunny day, about 62 degrees and a slight wind, but I need to move these bees from the A hive to the new C hive that I've built. And lately I've noticed the last week or two they've really been moving a lot in this hive. I know they're making a lot of baby brood, and I need to get them moved over into the C hive here so I can do a little bit of work on the A hive, hopefully before I make a split or a swarm happens here in the next month. So that's my plan, is to move with these bees to the new home. Here I am getting into the hive, opening it up for the first time this year. And what I'm wanting to do again is to move all these bees over into my new C hive. And this has been the best day to do that. So far, looking at these bees here, I have 3 full combs of honey. I was concerned maybe of them not having enough honey, and I put some candy board in there for them. But there's already 3 full frames of honey, and there's quite a bit right here too. Now we're getting into the brood here. They've already got some baby bees here starting. There's 2 brood. I think I'll go ahead and get them set in here. Yeah, they've already got a lot of brood in here. I don't really want to get them chilled. It is 60 here some, but you got to remember they want to keep the brood at about 94, 95. Oh, there's the queen. I'll be dang. Right here, can you see her? There she is, a big queen. Now she's walking around to the other side here. Only the second time that I've seen the queen, and that was pretty. I am going to get her in here definitely. Since this is pollen and honey, I'll put it right by the entrances here. I'll leave an empty bar here. The holes in this new hive are at the very end on the outside. So I'm going to leave a follower board in here and then an empty space, and then I'll put these 2 we've got 2 bars of pollen already being filled and honey, so I'll put them right in here. I can actually feel the heat coming off of these bees here. I'm going to go ahead and get these closed back up here. There's several of them out foraging at the moment. Open this up some more. Now here again we're into the pollen, and I don't know where they could be getting nectar, but that is also full of nectar. Those 2. I think what I'll do is put an empty bar in between these brood. And that way I give them a little more room. Here again, there's 3 full bars of honey. my gosh, this is packed full of honey too. Son of a gun. Way too much honey. In a good way. I mean, there it is. This thing is just packed full of honey. Set this over here for just a second. What I'm trying to do is leave them a little more space in the brood area here in case they'd want to start building comb. It's a little cool for that, but at least I've given them the room to do that. I think I smashed the bee. They're getting a little feisty. Yeah, I did smash one right there. Dang it. A couple of them. That's not good. Sorry. Sorry, ladies. So, see, I got alternating the bars, giving them a few extra. Now we're down here to, she gives her some more room to start laying. All right. What I'm going to do now is get these bees back in here so they can keep warming the hive back up. Like I said before, I've got a crap load of honey on these beehives here. There's some pollen again on that one. There's a lot of pollen there. I might ought to move that one down a little. There's pollen there also. This is some older comb from 2 years ago. So I'm going to go ahead and process that and get it out of there. That one comb anyway. It's done. This one here isn't though. I'll leave it in there. Two more. Dang, this whole thing is just about full. I still got about 3 or 4 combs here to do something with. This here was the board that I had some sugar candy, I guess you'd call it, into, just dried sugar mixed with a little water. And this was about 2 pounds of sugar probably, and they had cleaned it out. Now, could they have put some of it inside into these? I mean, it looks like they've got nectar going a little bit, and I know that can't be. Anyway, the sugar's all gone. I did see some down below on the ground, so I don't know if they carried it out or if they actually used some of it. But definitely this here hive had plenty of stores of winter of honey to get through the winter. Now we still have March to go through, and I'm sure they're going to eat up a lot of it as they start having more baby brood. There is quite a few little bars in there with just little patches of, I don't know if you could see them, little patches of brood. They're not getting carried away just yet, but I was told that in our area March is usually the biggest brood season for them because they have a big buildup the month of March. So again, I think they've got plenty of stores. They're bringing in awesome amount of pollen at the moment from the trees around. We got all kinds of trees blooming, maples, and heck, I don't even know what all would be blooming right now, but I did notice I've seen some maples. Dandelions are around a little bit. So this little hive, the A hive, it made it through the winter so far. I see no reason why it shouldn't continue on. They're doing really good. I've got to get the other hive closed up, plugged up, so that the bees will transfer over to this hive. And then I've got about 3 or 4 combs of honey I need to figure out what I'm going to do with. I may open up my other hive at the very end of them and stick them in there if see how they're doing, if they've got enough honey in theirs also. So otherwise, I may just have to squeeze a couple bars and have some fall honey. So thanks again for watching. It is a beautiful day here. Spring is just around the corner. I think they said this year is going to be the earliest spring we've had. It's the 19th of March, earliest spring we've had in like 124 years. So I'm ready for it, and I'd say the bees are too. So, well, I just wanted to let you know I did open up my other hive. There's not the same quantity of bees in it as in the A hive, and again, it was packed full of honey. They had hardly eaten any of their sugar board, so I took it out. There was honey all throughout it. I got down to where the brood was at, and they're just barely starting. I bet there wasn't more than 100 baby bees that they're starting the brood. So they haven't really kicked off yet. And like I've said in the past few videos, that they've always moved a lot slower. They've just had that hive did not warm up as quick as the other one when the sun shines on it. So anyway, what I did, there was so much, again, honey, and I don't understand why, but they've got plenty to eat, and they're bringing in pollen too. So what I did was I would split apart the brood area a little bit, and I put some empty bars in there, and I put a few maybe combs that were in the back side of the hive that weren't fully full of honey in there, just so that the queen could start having a place to lay. Because you know, I don't know if you can be honey bound in March, but you know, there wasn't a whole lot of room for them to expand at the moment. So anyway, I did that on both hives. I don't know if that's the right thing or not. Again, this is my 3rd year working with top bar hives. Thank God I haven't lost a hive yet. These both are doing okay. And again, my goal is here at the end of March, when I think it's getting ready for them to start to swarm, I'm hopefully going to try to split them and try my first split. So I did end up removing 7 bars of honey, and I could have removed probably a few more. Again, I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but there's just so much honey in there. I had to get some of it out. They wouldn't have had no place to put much when the nectar flow starts. So I'm going to process about 3 bars of it, maybe 4, but I'll save the other bars in case when I start my new hive and split, I'll put some honey in there with them. They might be able to kick off a little easier then. It'll give them maybe a place to start laying brood too. So we'll see what happens here. We'll be doing that maybe at the end of March. It's been exciting. I'm glad to be back in the hives. The temperature is really going to kind of stay in the 50s, 60s the next few weeks. Not going to get severely cold again. I did crack open my hives, and I know you're not supposed to do that in the winter time. But I pushed them really tight, sealed them up. I think that we're not going to have any issues of cold air getting in there. I've only got one hole open too on them for the bees to get inside, in and out. So again, thanks for watching, and it's time to start the bee season. And God
God bless you all.